33-year-old Frank Gray has moved around a lot during his training career. With the demise of Wimbledon, he is now hoping to make a name for himself, not just at Towcester, but on the open race scene as well.
I started off at Henlow. I had my first ever runner, and then I went to Poole. I was at Portsmouth as well for a little while, and then that closed sadly. Back to Poole, and I was at Sittingbourne for a good number of years, which I enjoyed my time then, and sadly it ended. And now I'm starting a fresh career at Towcester.
You also had a little spell at Wimbledon in that time. How sad are you that it's closed, with it being pretty much your most local track here?
Yeah, very sad. It was a lovely track. For me, probably one of the best tracks in the country. It's very upsetting to see our last London track go.
How's life for you at Towcester?
Yeah, not too bad. I've had a couple of winners, so yeah, I'm just starting out. Struggling to get a few runners at the moment. There's a number of dogs that was up there. But yeah, what they're trying to achieve at Towcester is, you know, I hope it goes forward and we get more runners and the place takes off.
We've come down to your kennels here today. All the dogs, I have to say, look very well indeed. And it's very much a normal working day for you guys, as ladies in particular, really working on your dogs, like a pampering session in there today.
Doesn't stop here really, from 7:30, 7 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock feeding time. And then we sort of wrap up here about 5 o'clock, time we wash up and prepare for the next day, you know. Sometimes I don't leave until 7 at night, messing about with the dogs. But yeah, you know, we just try and treat them as pets as well as runners. We spend a lot of money on the food. I think that's the most important thing, is the food. We feed a lot of meat, all the vegetables. They perform if they're fed right. And
there's little things as well, like you treat them with cooling cream. There's a real attention to detail.
Yeah, I mean, for me, one of the most important things on the dog is their feet. We wash their feet off after they run, but the next day, you know, port of call, we wash any dog that's trialled or raced that day, check their quicks and do their sandburns. And then for 2 days after that, they get a cooling gel, which goes over their muscles and down their hocks and down their wrists. And then 2 days after that, port of call, we just bone radial front wrists and hocks, just to try and keep everything at bay. You know, it seems to work. So I've done it since I've started. We go through stuff like there's no tomorrow, but you know, if we can keep on the card, it's the way forward for me. You know, just to give them that bit of attention. You know, they seem to like it.
There's really beautiful views from your field you've got here, and even in the background I can see my office, the Racing Post TV, Canary Wharf in the background.
Yes, Canary Wharf is behind us, so we wave at you sometimes.
It's a lovely setting for the kennel, a nice working environment for you, but also you do have some good facilities, and most impressively is a really nice looking gallop.
Yeah, that's just being done as we speak. Next week it'll be finished, but there's over 60 tonne of sand gone on it. And we've rotivated what's been there before, we've cleaned it all up, and we've got a nice pool now there, it'll be about 360 metres, so you know, we can get them really fit at home.
We've seen a few of your dogs here today, let's talk about them now. First of all, Droopy's Nissen, who unfortunately you've given him a pet name of Russell, which isn't very kind considering he's potentially the best dog in your kennel.
Yeah, Russell. I like his name anyway.
He's done some flying times, hasn't he? Most notably around Poole and Romford as well.
Yeah, he has. He had 9 months off for us of injury. He'd done a metacarpal, but next year I got big high hopes for the dog of winning something. The people that own him have as well. He is a very fast dog. He's got a 23.70 at Romford. When he does it from the lids, he does win. He got knocked over sadly at Romford, puppy final night, and hasn't run since. He's had a couple of trials, one at Towcester and one at Romford, and looks like he's coming back. So touch wood, Russ will be back there in the next couple of weeks, and you know, hopefully going back to his best. You know.
You've also got Big Time here, who is running some top quality class races. He made it to the Kent Derby final as well, but fluffed his lines a little bit that night.
Yeah, he gave us a night out in the end. That was all it was. To be honest, we had a good few tables, and I thought the dog was going to run a big race. To be fair, and even though his price, it didn't, you know, his price was just silly, but he ran like his price. Unfortunately, he's a dog that's got to win. You know, he only wins his races from the front. And saying that, actually, his last 2 at Wimbledon, he's come from miles behind. But you know, he's a dog that used to be able to, you know, he just needed to dictate races. But yeah, he fluffed his lines in the final. He only got beat 3 lengths or 2.5 lengths to the Blubbly Bluebird dog in the second round, and run well. So, you know, we were there with credit.
He's only 2.5. He's also pretty lightly raced. What are the plans for him going into next year?
We're actually going to step him up. We're going to try and see if he'll get the 575. I think he will. So yeah, that's the plans with him now.
You've also got Make It No Job, and a really good-looking young dog, and you think one to keep an eye on for us for the future.
Yeah, we're going to grade him on at Toaston in the next couple of weeks. I brought him when I sadly got the sack from Sittingbourne. Called him Make It No Job, and yeah, he's going to start wherever he starts really. But he's the one to keep an eye on because he's a fairly decent dog.
Make It Reni as well, we've seen, who's a real live wire, but a fast dog.
Yeah, he's a fast dog. He's won his last couple of races by 7.5 lengths. Sally's been beat the last 2 times over 5.75, but fluffed his lines terrible at the start. And everybody knows if you don't lead over 5.75, you know, you're sort of a million, and he hasn't led at all. He does stay. He will stay. He's got a 28.40 at Wimbledon. No trial there. Gary actually put him in an A1 after that a couple of weeks later, and he stoused him by 8 lengths. So he has got a lot of ability.
For you, in the long term, what are your ambitions?
It's just to keep going forward, really, you know. And the sport needs to go forward, along with the trainers, because, you know, it costs a lot of money to do these dogs the way it does. And, you know, I've got a family to feed at home, and like everybody, there's bills to pay. And if the sport doesn't go forward, then it doesn't, you know, the trainers just can't go forward. But it's just every dog to achieve its best he can achieve in this kennel. That's my, you know, if we buy a dog, I want it to achieve the best it can, and that'll make me happy.